Hi everybody, my name is Steve Bennett from Dolphin. Today we're going to be looking at using the Connect and Learn package. So what we're going to do is take you through a few of the features. SuperNova has something like 2,500 different options in there. So I'm going to really bring down to the ones I think work best with the Connect and Learn package. But if you want to know anything, please give us a call, drop me an email, steve.bennett@yourdolphin.com. But enough of that, let's have a look at this package. So let's look at the Connect and View feature in SuperNova using the Connect and Learn package which we make available. So we've got this Surface Pro which is sat on the stand, and also I've got the small keyboard and the mouse, and we'll be using a variation of the input and output options available here to explain how to use the package. So just firstly, let's have a look at the power. That comes in here. It's a little magnetic item, so you can just pop that into the side and it just pops in. It doesn't matter if you get it in that way or that way, it does exactly the same. Okay. And also we've got this USB hub, and that's got two items in there, which are the keyboard and the mouse, which are both wireless. So we use those. There is a spare USB-C form on the side. If you're not using the mouse or the keyboard, then no, you don't need to have this in the side. So I'm just going to put SuperNova on. So the package will start as soon as you turn the PC on. It will boot up with the SuperNova running as last you left it when you turn this particular PC off. Now for this, what we're actually doing, I've turned the PC upside down. So the on and off button is here and the volume is just here. So make sure you don't put the volume actually onto this stand here, because what happens is it tends to turn the volume down low. And a couple of times I've made that error. So if I can just pick it up, the camera is sat at the bottom here, and that's why we turn it upside down, because we're going to use the gap in the stand, which is available here as well. So this package will actually magnify and it will speak everything that's on here. It's not just the applications it will come to. So if you're running Microsoft Office, or if you're running another word processor package, if you're running Excel, for example, then it will just work with all of those Office packages. It will also work with the browser of your choice. So whether you're using the new Edge or whether Chrome or Firefox, it will work with those too as well. So let's give an example of how it works. I'll just, in the background, I've got Microsoft Word running, so I'll just Alt-Tab, release the Alt button, and there it is. And the software isn't showing any magnification at the moment, so I'm going to turn it on. And the first way to do that is I tap twice with 3 fingers on the screen. And if I repeat that, okay, it will toggle the magnification on and off. I'll do it again. Okay, and it's come on and the size that I left it last time. So I'll just move my finger on the screen, and you can see that because it's touchscreen, I can move my finger and it will actually glide with me. If I flick it, then it will move across as well, just like that. But if I don't have a touchscreen, then I can use the mouse. And it will track round with me absolutely perfectly there as well. And in the software, I've changed the mouse and the highlight cursor to some different colors which suit me better. So what if I was typing, would it track then? So if I arrow down on the keyboard, see it's quite responsive. We can see that it's actually tracking, and if I simulate typing by pushing the right arrow key, we'll see that it tracks across the screen beautifully with me. So if I just touch the mouse and I touch it gently, then the mouse will appear in the magnified screen without jumping away. But if I was to move the mouse to go and read, say, look at the time, and at the moment it's 12:47, right, where was I typing? Rather than actually swirl the mouse around to try and find it, touch the left or the right arrow buttons, and then it will jump back to where you were. If you gently touch the mouse, then it will appear there. Now, that just doesn't work that way in Word. It works in all of the applications. The magnification will follow what you're doing, not the other way around. So I'll just bring that size of that text up a little bit, and it's just a really intuitive interface. Move your fingers apart, move them together, and we can see the magnification changes around where your fingers are located. So if I just do it from the right hand side, we can see it's located there. So if I take the magnification up, because I like to use it at this size, and I'm just going to touch that left or that right arrow, it's jumped back to where I was there. but I think I was somewhere about here. What I could have done is just touch the mouse. It would appear where I was at that time. So it's really intuitive as well there. Beautiful smooth text that's available on the screen here as well. So whatever the size, it gets real clear. And we've got these really small interim steps in the magnification where you can get some idea of what size suits you. The other thing I like about this, some docs come as font size 8. Somebody will give you one that's 12. Somebody may have larger text in there. Sometimes there's not a set magnification that suits you. So yeah, just quickly do that. All right, and then you can actually find the level that works for you at that particular point. So the other thing I absolutely love about this package is I don't have to lean over the desk. And I've worked with a couple of students. I'll just take the power off to the side. And what they did instantly is they picked it up. Can I use it here? Yeah, absolutely. Pick it up here, read it like this, and then you can move your finger across the screen and then you can read it like that. If I want to input some text, how can I do that? Well, you could do it with the keyboard, or if you tap once with 3 fingers, then you get this other display at the bottom. I'll just pop it right down there, and there you can have a keyboard. So that's the on-screen keyboard for you, and if that color doesn't suit, then you can change the color just by doing that. And I'll go back to there. And here's my keyboard. So let's just move the mouse. So let's put it between there and there. Now let's put in HELLO space. We can see it pops it in. I'm going to use the keyboard now. So if I type in Steve, S-T-E, did you see that the keyboard, the on-screen keyboard, just went away straight away because I touched the other keyboard. But if you want it back, yeah, just pop that on and it'll go away. You've got it there. So there are some other elements on this particular toolbar as well. So if you've got the speech options of magnifier and speech or magnifier and screen reader, then you can start reading from this location. So wherever the cursor is, then it will start to read from there. But that's not where you want it to read. Okay, touch where it is, and then it will move there. Now I can press the play button.
Much to their surprise, it had improved and matured, a bit like a fine.
So if you can see it, why would you want to do that? This makes it so much easier. This will read your mistakes out when you can't read them yourselves. It's really useful for that. And of course, if you've got some quite large magnification sizes, I do appreciate that it can be difficult to read from the screen using the mouse like this or moving left and right. Sometimes it's much easier.
Wine or balsamic vinegar. It had taken on an aromatic smell with an unusual peak.
To get it read to you, and I didn't touch the button there, I touched the left control on the keyboard. It stopped the speech and it nailed it right where I was, the last word that I heard. Okay, so we've got these options to do the magnification higher and lower here, and again you can turn the magnification on and off, which is the 3-finger tap, just a toggle. Really popular feature is the color changer. So you can do that in the interface, or you can do it here, or there's a keyboard, but now you're looking at that there's white text in a black background. So one of the slight downsides of magnification is we not only make the text bigger, we make the background bigger, obviously. So sometimes you can get a lot of white with small black text in there. So this makes it easier. There are something like 25 different colors, so you can set that in the control panel if you prefer to do it that way. So if you want to turn the speech on all the time, there it is.
Speech on.
And you can turn in wherever you are now.
I-Q-U-A-N-T.
And there's various degrees of feedback that you can use. I'm going to turn it off for this purposes. Off. There we go. And now I want that toolbar to go away, but I'll just flick the color back. The purpose is the demo today. 1 tap, 3 fingers, okay, and it's gone away. And then I can bring it down to a reasonable size so everybody can see it there. So a slight downside again to magnification is this is a low resolution picture that we have here. So what you'll see is it gets quite pixelated, whereas the font stays beautiful and smooth as you actually bring the magnification up. Let's have a look at the top here, and we will see that everything has got to the same size text, and the text is really clear as well. So I'm just going to press Windows key and D, and we go back to the desktop, and we can see everything is the same size. So if I arrow through the different icons, we can see they're there. Or again, I can use my finger. I can make bigger, smaller, or let's just start tracking it with the mouse. Yeah, absolutely perfectly following what I want to do. So tap 3 fingers and I'll just bring the control panel on, which is the left control and the space bar, or you could have used it from the single 3 tap toolbar at the bottom. And for the purposes of the demo, I'll just turn it on so it's a little bit easier and turn the magnification down a little bit. So there's that color changer I mentioned. You can have different magnification types in there, but I won't run through those today. You want to change the mouse pointer, then there's loads of them available as an option to do in there. If you wish to do the Connect and Learn, that's this option here. So there is a keyboard shortcut to do this, or you can click here, or you can tap here with 1 finger. So there is an interface in there. So we're actually, when you tap a single tap, you're actually interacting with the control that's available there. So let me just tap once, or click rather. Okay, and what we've got is the camera, which is on the back here, it's seeing through there. And we've got this nice interface at the top, which you can touch, or you can use the mouse to make things bigger and smaller. So what I'm going to do is, there's a piece of paper here. I'm going to bring the stand up, and then we're going to look at that piece of paper there, and then we're going to make it larger. And what I'm going to do is, having brought that up to the vertical, I'm then going to press this lock symbol here. All right. So you might not see that as I bring it up, but I will do it. So if I bring it up, there's the piece of paper. I touch the lock key. Okay, it turns to the red color, and now I've got a picture of that piece of paper, and if I go down, I can see I've got the whole of an A4 sheet in there. And if I go up, then I can see that I can move that round. If I've got my mouse, then I can move my mouse and it will move with me that way as well. So if you don't have a touch screen. Why do I like this feature so much? I just love it because you don't have to move the piece of paper or the camera. You're actually looking at the image of it actually here, so you can just read it. If this is the bit that I'm interested in, no, it's down here, not moving the camera, not needing to move the piece of paper. Yeah, that's the bit I'm interested in. So you can actually just read what's on the screen here. But it's white background and black text. Is that going to work for me? Maybe not. So you can flick the different color schemes on. There's a little rotor that's sat there, so you can rotate them round if you wish. Now, if I got that image and it was on the horizontal or upside down, what I can do is I can spin it. So don't worry which way the piece of paper is orientated. It doesn't matter at all. So with my color image on, I'm going to take a picture. So what I've done is I've just frozen the camera for the time being. So here we've got an image of a camera. So if I touch that, okay, it's now in the clipboard. But is it the image which is on the screen on the clipboard? No, it's not. In actual fact, if I just rotate the colors again, okay, what's actually in the clipboard is that. Okay, because when you paste it, do Control V into Word or another processor or a paint type application, then it will come like that. You can apply SuperNova's color filters and magnification afterwards. So you might see that the text, because we're actually looking at a picture, we can't smooth the font. So you've got some pixelation at the larger sizes. So there's an excellent camera on these particular PCs. So it's not too bad at all, I don't think. But if you get right up here, yeah, there is some pixelation. We've got one word which is actually sat there. So I think it's better using it this way. Maybe I'm biased. Than actually trying to move a camera around or move the piece of paper underneath the camera. And it can be quite disorientating. So if you've got SuperNova Magnifier and Speech or Magnifier and Screen Reader, they come with a full OCR engine. So what you want to do is have it read to you. So here's the scanner option here. So if I press on that, okay, it's going off to do an OCR on there. Okay, and then it's come back. So I'll just increase the size. And we can see, I'll just start it there. It's recognized this text, and if I press on the play button.
No matter what your eye condition, SuperNova Magnifier makes everything crystal clear and easy to read.
So that's recognized it perfectly, but that's not the bit I wanted. The bit I wanted is here. So I'll just touch there and get it to read that bit.
There's no need to struggle on busy web pages or long documents. Switch on the speech and listen at the touch of a button. Sit back.
Great, so not only can I see the piece of paper moving and I'm not touching anything, I can hear it read back as much as I wish. So I've used my fingers to do that, but I could use the
Let
mouse.
SuperNova take the strain.
It's entirely up to you how you use it. And again, you can apply the color filters on there if you wish. Now, if you want to see the original piece of paper, which is on the left with the image that is reading, and there's the recognized text on the right. And if I touch it again, then I've got the horizontal version of that. Sorry, horizontal. If I touch it again, this is just the OCR. If I touch it again, I'm back to this option. It's a little rotor. So I can see, okay, it didn't read that word quite well, perfectly. What I'm going to do is just check what it thinks is there. So having done the OCR, let's put it into a Word document. So if you touch on here, okay, you've got two options. The bottom option is to actually output it into your word processor, and the top option there is to scan and append. So if you have got a second page that you want to scan, then you would press on that, the plus button, bring it up, and then you take a picture, and then it would scan it for you then as well. And to get between the different pieces of paper or pages, you would tap on the right to go forward, you tap on the left to go back, either with your finger or click with the mouse, it's the same. So I'm going to actually output this. So I've got the options to output it as a picture with recognized text here, or just the text into Word, and I've got the option to output it to something like Notepad if I haven't got the Office suite on there. Now, if you are using the Google Suite, you'll find that in the 1903 version, and we keep all of our customers up to date with the Connect and Learn package, then it will adapt to the Google package and some other word processors like LibreOffice as well. So I'm just going to tap on that, okay, and it'll open up Word, okay, which I had open earlier, I think, and then it will pop it into there. Okay, so I've got the focus in there. So now it's popped the text actually into the document that I had already open. So I can see it in there. So if I want it to be read, then I can turn my speech on. Okay. And then if I want it to, let's do it that way.
Dolphin SuperNova for crystal clear magnification no matter what your eye condition. SuperNova magnifier may.
And again, it's made a nice job of recognizing the text there. If I want to edit it, I can. If I want to delete elements of it, yeah, it's a word processor, so I can do all of those aspects. So having scanned the whole page or 5 pages, then I can cut out the bits that I actually want to use using my word processor. That's no problem at all. So if I just could bring up the control panel, so can it use other cameras? So when you buy the package, you'll find that it's actually set up for the rear camera. But if you wish, okay, then in the Connect and View, and if I go to, there's the size, I had it as full screen, but you can have it to the top, the left or the right, and I'll show you that working shortly. If I go to settings, okay, it pops up this box. And here I can see that all the cameras which are connected to this PC are recognized there, and I can set it to use. So if I have got an external camera and there's a number of different cameras that will work in the Connect and View, then I can select them here to actually be my option for taking my pictures, viewing documents, etc. All right, so you can change it to the front or the rear. Having picked that, you then pop down here and set it and apply. So let's just have a look at that combined image. So I'll just click on OK. And what I'll jump back up here and I'll look at modes and then Connect and View. And I'm going to go to dock to the top. All right, so if I actually bring on the camera view again, and what I'll do is I'll just bring that up and I'll press on my lock key again. And then I'll bring that down. Okay, and what I can do here is I can make that larger and I can make it a different size underneath if I wish. I've got the control panel, so I'll just press escape and it will jump it out. And what I'll do is I'll just go to somewhere here. So if I wished, I can actually read at the top here, and then I'll just type in random words. I can type here, and I'm just going to press right, and you can see it jumped over. Focus, where's that mouse? Touch the mouse, okay, and the mouse appears in the center of the screen. Okay, so you want this a different color to that, so yeah, that's no problem. So you can have that a color down here if you wish, okay, and then we can have that color on there, and if you wish, you can change that up to, I think got a nice blue and yellow that's available there. You can change the colors. So the mag can be changed and the color can be changed completely independently. So that split doesn't have to be at 50% and horizontal. It can be at 80% or it can be at 20%, and it also can do the same on the vertical. However it suits you best. There's no problems there as well. Let's just take that color changer off. All right, and I'll take the color changer off here as well. All right, and then, of course, I could have take a picture here, and then I can actually paste it into my Word document if I wish to, or I could do the opposite as well. Now, if I don't want these buttons on the top, we've got this go away arrow, and we've got the come back arrow, which is available there to use as well. So let's just get rid of that. All right, there's something else I wanted to show you, and that's the option to use the whiteboard. So we use something called VNC. Okay, and VNC is something similar to, if you ever use something like YouTube, there's a button in the top right hand corner where you can cast it to your TV. So you actually, it's using the Wi-Fi network of your home then to actually watch that picture, which is actually, or that video, which is actually coming onto your TV. And this uses something really similar to that. So what you'll need to have done, I'll just press Windows key D, okay, is downloaded the Dolphin Whiteboard Wizard, okay, and that's we'll put this onto the PC, which is connected to the whiteboard. Now, does it have to be a whiteboard? No, it could be a large monitor. It could be a projector, which is actually set to the screen. It could be it could be a smart board or rather a whiteboard. As long as it's a PC or in fact a Mac, which will do this without our Whiteboard Wizard, then you can actually connect to this. So this would be loaded onto the whiteboard PC, and the teacher would start the software by double clicking on this particular icon here. Because it's on the same PC, I can't do it. But if we just explain what it'll do, it'll give them the option, do you want to start this for 15 minutes, for 30 minutes, or for 45 minutes? And after that time, it will quit the connection off automatically, or it can be ceased at any time by double clicking on the red icon, which actually closes, or in fact closing the application, which this opens. Either is possible. So when they first set it up, it puts a password in, and it also recognizes that PC. So the student must be on the same Wi-Fi network as the PC, which is connected to the whiteboard, the large monitor, the projector, etc. Otherwise, it's much more difficult to use. I don't think it's a security hole because we're on the same network and we're not going through the security wall. So if I go back to SuperNova, which is just up here, okay, pop it on, okay, in my control panel here, I think we saw it earlier. If I go to Connect and View and to Settings, okay, we have this option for whiteboards. All right, and here, what you can do is you can actually set up the different classrooms or the different PCs for the different teachers you're going to work with. So I was with a student not so many months ago, and they had all the classrooms that were available in there. They would walk in, teacher, please start the Dolphin Whiteboard Wizard. Yes, I'll do that. They then pick the classroom they were in, and the connection would be available for them to be able to use. So for today, we're using the in-house option. And what I'm just going to do is just turn off the camera. Don't have to, you can have that on as well. I'll explain why. Okay, and then I'll click on the option here. Okay, and because I've got split, now I'm looking at the whiteboard. So that's actually a PowerPoint presentation that's going on there. Okay, so the beauty of this is the teacher will never stand in front of this particular PowerPoint. All right, and they may be describing something which is on the left, but you can be looking at something on the right. If this red target is on here, is red, all right, then wherever they're touching perhaps the smart board in this particular instance, then it won't jump to that particular location. If it's there, it will track if they're writing something on the screen. So it needs to be green in that particular location. So what if I'm reading this and it's about to change, okay, and I don't want it to change? Same option, press the lock, okay, and now the slide is stuck. All right, we've locked it on that particular picture so that you can actually make some notes. So if I was to go back to my Word document, which I'll bring up here, yeah, I could be reading what's on here, and then I could be just typing some random text underneath, no problem. Right arrow just to take me through. Yep. Can I change my color? Yeah, absolutely. You can change the colors in here again, and you can have that as a different color, different size here, different size here, different colors there, and then you can move this with the mouse. And if you wish, you can in fact bounce the mouse into the top and then use it that way, and then bounce the mouse down here. If you bounce the mouse into the top, but you're still typing, it will still track, so you can read what's over there. Okay, but I'm actually random typing what's actually in the bottom. When I finish with it, I click on X, and then it takes me back to my Word document, and I'll just bring up the control panel again. So I think that's a good run through of the features, and of course if you've got any questions, we're happy to help. All right, either with some more training tips or some support or some explanations as how you can test the package yourself.